Okay, family, we're going to go ahead and get started on what we're doing this time. I'm going to open up my Tuka program. You can open yours, it's on your desktop, just by double clicking on the TukaCad program, and it will open up for you. Okay, so you see I have pieces on the screen, and this is my full button front. I'm gonna extend the name on this one because I have another button front. I want to call this one because I extended the sleeve. So I'm going to make it a bit more identifying. So when I look at my style numbers in the list, I can know exactly what style I'll be opening. And I won't have to, click on each one and look at the little small window to see which style it is. So I suggest that you add a small description to your style number. So we've been saying our style numbers. Mine are SL 100. So I'm going to say for a t-shirt, I'm going to say SL 100 t-shirt. And then I think a second one was the button front, SL 101 button front, short sleeve. And then this one, I'm going to be, I think I did a lady SL 102 lady t-shirt. And then this one is a button front. And I extended the sleeve to almost like a 3/4 sleeve. Um, and maybe I'll put a cuff on it to make it more identifiable. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's do that right now. So I'm going to zoom up on my sleeve. I'm going to change my seam allowance from, I believe it's at 1 1/4. I'm just going to change it to uh, 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to remove the turn back. I can just uncheck it, apply it, and remove the turn back, but I don't want it to mess up my corner. So I'm going to make sure I have these lined up. I'm going to apply that and okay. So let's just go ahead and put a facing on this extended sleeve. It's about, I think it's about 10, 11 inches long. I'm going to get my ruler here. I'm going to measure from the sleeve cap to the bottom. And it is 10, 10 and an eighth, something like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select tool to get out of the program that I was in, icon that I was in, function that I was in, and so I can use the next one. And so I want to create a parallel, create a parallel. I'm going to click that, and I want it to come in 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches. And this time, yes, I am going to add a point snapped to the contour. I'm going to add a point snapped to the contour. That means when I delete this line, the points on the outer edge, the contour, will still be there. So I want to build piece. I want to build piece. And for me to do that, I need to be able to see it because the function is over on this side. And so I am going to go to Tools, Customize, take my large buttons off, okay that, and Build Piece right here. Please excuse my phone for ringing. Please excuse that. Okay, Build Piece. I'm going to touch in the area that I want to build, that I want to. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to get my select tool, and then I'm going to go to move piece, and I'm going to select the corner, pick it up, and there is my facing. So I'm going to quickly add seam allowance. I'm going to zoom up because it's some points there I couldn't quite see. You guys know that manila gets to my eyes, and I'm not wearing my glasses today. I thought I would give a try without my glasses. And there's our seam allowance on the facing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this internal line. I'm just going to touch the line and I'm going to delete. And since I have points here, it's an identifying mark for sewing. I am going to add a notch, outside V notch, and add an outside V notch. Okay. Now I'm going to double click on my facing here, and I'm going to name it. I think I have a front facing, so I have to call this a sleeve facing. Sleeve facing. Oh, look, you guys know I don't go for that. Capital lock. Sleeve facing. All right, so my sleeve facing will be cut to. And right now I'm going to put it in a, let's see, I have a pocket on this piece, so I'm going to put it in the, look like I have my facing. I'm going to put it, contrast 1. It's going to go with my facing now, contrast 1. It is, it's a small piece, so I like to make sure my wording stays within. So I go in the angle area, I go minus 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees. I do need to cut 2 in my bundle, and it will be have an opposite side. That means it's paired. It's paired. Okay. Apply, and I'll close that. And so now, yep, my facings are in the same fabric. So if I want to see what fabrics that I have, and I can edit arrange work area with this piece material only, and scatter it if I want to see all the pieces. And I have 2 facings, front facings, and I have 2 sleeve facings. Okay, so now I'm going to edit, arrange the work area. I'm going to unscatter, and I'm going to uncheck this material, and it should give me all my pieces back. Okay, so right now, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? I want to, move my fronts are very close together, so I want to move them. So it's easier when you go to move piece, and just select a point and move it where you want. But you know what? It would be even better if I just want to work on this front piece. So I believe I have my function keys on. I'm going to go to F9. That's F8. And my numbers came up. Remember, I don't have my glasses on, so I cannot see my function keys. I just know the area that they're in. So F8 will show me my segment lengths. So let's go ahead. I have to touch that function key every time. And I want to do F9. I only want this front on the screen. I only want the front on the screen. And let's take the, you know what? I'm going to take the left front because I want to work with that pocket. So I'm going to say F9 again. I'm highlighted on the piece that I want. And it gives me the left front. Gives me the left front. So, but I do want the pocket. I want the pocket. I want to see something with my pocket. So maybe I want to change my pocket, right? I want to change my pocket. I want to change my pocket. I made a curved pocket. So now I want to make a funky pocket, some funky kind of pocket. So I'm just going to, maybe it will be asymmetrical oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's cut this piece in half. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go to multiple. Well, we use multiple move quite a bit. I'm just gonna add about 1 inch to the width of this and about 1 inch to the length. Pockets are kind of proportional. And now I want to cut this in half. I want to cut it in half. So I'm going to go to, this is cut along the internal. If I had a line here, not if, let's go ahead and do it, right? Excuse me. class. Let's go ahead and use our draft tool. That's our pencil. And we're going to sit it down on the top edge of the pocket. And proportionally, we're going to say half of the pocket, so that's 0.5. Okay, that, yes, we want to add a point. And we want to go proportionally here as well, so 0.5. And okay, that, yes, we want a point. And so that is an internal line now. That is an internal line. So I can, let me go back to my tools here, customize it, and get that large icon so you all can really see what I'm doing. And so what I want to do now is, I was talking about cut along the internal. Cut along the internal. The line is already there. So we're going to select that. We're going to cut it. We're going to add our seam allowance at the same time. So our seam allowance for pocket turnbacks, we're doing 0.5. We're doing a 1/2 inch. So we're going to say okay. And it gives me seam allowance on both sides. I'm going to get out of the function and I am going to move, if I can get that, grab that. This is in my way. I'm going to move the piece. I'm going to move one of the pieces away from. Notice that they're still attached. They're still attached. So I have to get out of the function and make sure I come out of the piece. Now I want to move one of them away. So let's just do a little jagged pocket. So let's add, say we want one pocket, part of the pocket higher than the other. So because we changed, separated the pocket, now we have to rename. So we got to say, we're going to double click inside the piece. Am I in a function? No, select tool, double click inside the piece. So this says pocket. We can leave that pocket, and then we can leave this one that had the one attached on it. We can name that pocket side, because one will be on the inside of the garment and one will be on the side. So it's still cut one. Now it's right side up. We're going to apply that, and we have to do that to this one as well. Right side up. Apply that. Okay, and let's just add a notch, say maybe 1 inch down. So from the previous point, I'm adding the point away from the previous point because we work in a clock. So where I want to place this notch is away from previous to this point at the top. So we're going to place it, say, I think that seam allowance is 1 1/4. So let's just do 1 1/4. Okay. Okay, that. So how it would sit on the front now is I would go to move point. I would touch the point that I want to place. It will sit here. So that means I can also put a notch on the pocket that's on the side. So in order to get that measurement, I'm going to have to look and see what the measurement is. I can do what is that? F8. Oh, you guys, there we are. So it's this is for the shorter side here is 2.75. So I'm going to add a notch at 2. No, it's not 2.75 because I have a. No, yeah, it is. It is. It's 2.75. I'm sorry, class. So I'm adding a notch from my next point. I know the measurement that I want from my next point is 2.75. So I'm going to double click in this area if it lets me. 2.75. Okay, that. And now this bottom of the pocket will sit here and the top of the pocket will sit here. So when we move them on, select the notch, move it and place it where you want it. And that's how it will sit. So now my my internals where I had the pockets no longer work. So let's go ahead and move this pocket. It goes about here. And so I think we dropped down, it was 1 1/4. So I am going to I'm going to zoom up, and I'm going to move this down. So I'm going to move internal. I'm going to move internal. I'm going to click that. I'm going to move it down 1 1/4 inch. I eyed that out and my chart didn't come up. Okay, so, but that's okay. And then it needs to go to the outer edge of the pocket. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this pocket out, the pocket that's at the side. I'm going to move it. And I'm just going to eye out my, where I want my internals. So I'm going to move internal. I'm going to zoom up so I can see this. My internal is here. I have to touch on the pattern that I want to move. There it is. And I'm just going to eye it out and place it there. Okay. And then I'm going to add another internal because I want to make sure that this stays level. And so I'm going to add, is this my button? Yes, this is my button. I'm going to add a button and I'm just going to place it down here. I just eyed that out instead of doing any measurements. And I just created a button. Yep, and there it is. So it's an internal. So I don't necessarily need one for this side because this side pocket is going to sew to this one. So we just made a little modified adjustment to the left front. The name of it still stays left front. We just have made our sloper. And that's one thing we can do also. Sometimes you don't, if you're cutting yourself, it's fine to put your internal marks on your piece. But if you're cutting for a garment manufacturing company, you actually need to make a separate sloper for your, which is a template, a guide for your contractor service. So garment manufacturers make slopers. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So all you would do is anything that has an internal on it, I'm going to go ahead and do the function key again, F9, to only see the front. And also when you have small internals, you know, you don't want the grain line so close to it. So you can go ahead and move internal and place that grain line where you like. Place the grain line where you like. You can even move it as far away if you want. You can choose to do that. So I'm going to copy this piece. So I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to paste it. And the one that is that has the extra dash on it, I'm going to double click inside the piece. I'm going to rename it Sloper. And you can keep the description of it. It's the front left. And in the cut area, you're going to say, do not cut. Do not cut. And then in the material area, you're going to call it the template. Or you can call it the sloper, the template or the sloper. We're going to apply that. Ooh, that color. Y'all know that's too, I can't see. I can't really see that. Okay, because I can't read the words inside there. So we will be changing that color. So now on your original left, you can just simply go and delete all of your internal marks that you place for your buttons and that you place for your pockets. So that will just simply stay the same. When we save it, it will be fine. We're going to change this template color. So we're going to go to Tools, Colors. We're going to go to Material, and Template has come in. So whenever you add a different description to your fabric, it will go ahead and chart. it will chart here. So we're going to change our template color to something that's more pleasing to the eye, something just a little bit darker. Let's go, what's brown work? Yeah, that works. Okay, that works. Okay. All right, so this is our template. This is our left front. So we're going to go ahead and save this. So yeah, I was going to say we need to make a template for something else, but no, we don't. We have, it was just our left front that needed the template. And so we're going to simply save it. And you want to save in an orderly fashion. You want to arrange yourself in your piece area, want to line it up in an orderly fashion. So you want yourself to be at the top. Notice that you cannot see my front. So that means I have a lot of pieces in this style, and my front simply is arrowed up here. Okay, it's simply arrowed up. And then we can slide if we need to go down. So we have our front right, we have our front left, back, sleeve, our collar, our facing, our pocket side, and then down here, what is that? That is the sleeve facing. So look, let's try to organize the fabrics together. So when we do our pattern card, everything will line up in order, okay? So we're simply going to slide our cuff facing up to be near the front facing, okay? So that is our contrast 1. And then our pockets were contrast 2. And then we have our template now. Okay, so when we, let's get everything on the screen. So edit, arrange work area. We want to scatter our piece so we can, when you scatter, you just want to put your eyes on that you have both your sleeves, you have both your facings, you have both your cuffs. You just you want to see it for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and scatter, put everything on the screen, make sure we have everything that we want in this, because if we're going to plot this out, you know, for the cutter who wants a full pattern, then we want to look at it and make sure everything is there before we plot it out. So yeah, everything seems to be there. We have 2 facings. We have oh, look, you guys, I see that I only have 1 collar. So I want to make it 2 collars because I'm not doing a under collar. I'm simply going to double click on my collar. I'm going to say 2. I'm going to, it's self-infused. I'm going to make sure in the quantity of the bundle, I need 2. And yes, it is paired. I'm going to apply that. And now when we edit arrange, we should see 2 collars. Yeah, there it is. There it is. And you want to save paper just like you want to save yardage. You want to save paper just like you want to save yardage, so you can go ahead and move some pieces a bit closer together within your limitation. So you want to be within the 0 and whatever your yardage width is, or whatever your paper width is. So if you want to see, just pull down a guideline. So your guideline just sits in the ruler. You pull down a guideline, you place it at 0. Place it at 0. Okay, so if you want to see if you're really on the 0, just zoom up and you'll be able to see. So I'm a little off, so I can go back to the 0. Okay, and now I'm going to come back and make sure my paper width. The computer will automatically line up everything to the wide part, the widest part of the ruler. So if your paper is 41 inches, you want everything starts on this side, this upper side. So if you went ahead and placed something on the screen on your work area, you got it a little off. I'm just going to move this. And so we can just, for demonstration, but the computer did set it in the proper place. So we're going to make sure, so right where the computer set with my seam allowance there, I'm going to make sure that I place my whatever piece it is inside the guideline. Notice that everything lines up. So I'm going to simply move piece and make sure it is inside the guideline with the seam allowance as well. So, let's see, we can move this down a little bit, right, to save on fabric. I could do a quick yardage estimate by getting the guideline here to go up. Of course, this is not totally accurate because I have self contrast 1, contrast 2, but generally I can zoom up, place my guideline. Notice your guideline won't move. I'm going to undo that when you're inside a piece. But if you are outside of a piece, you can move your guideline. Okay, so it's sensitive. So this is about 75.5 inches. So to get the yardage for this, I would divide that by 36 inches, and that would be my yardage. You want to make sure you take your guidelines off when you save your piece. You just don't want it to look raggedy. Okay, so excuse me, family. So we want to go ahead and we're going to once you see all that you want, everything is there, and you want to prepare to save your style again before you plot out your piece, or before you put your pattern card up. You want to put it back to you want to arrange your work area back being not scattered. So you just want to go ahead. You want to go ahead and take your guidelines off. For me to see my guidelines, I have to go to toolbar again, customize, take the large buttons off. And so then there's guidelines up there. If I wanted, for some reason, to see the guidelines in increments of like 1 inch on my screen, I can view. I'm sorry. I can view a grid. Actually, it's not set up yet. So if I wanted it 1 by 1, let's see, touch it. There they are. So they gives you these little dots 1 by 1. It looks like how our pattern paper used to look. Yeah, too many dots for me. So let's just simply take that off. If you want to see it, you just click it. If you don't, you take it off. If you want the grid to be a different measurement, just put in a different measurement. Okay, so guidelines, delete guidelines to view guidelines. And there you are. Anyway, so we just wanted to get back to all the pieces in the style, because this will show up in your pattern card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, and we're going to attach Preview. I have already inserted a picture, but normally if you did not insert a picture, what we start with is what is currently on the screen. What's currently on the screen, and we're going to say okay. And actually, if we went back and we went to edit, arrange work area again, and we did do scatter, and we wanted all of that, we can say File, arrange preview, take current. Notice it's 1 sleeve here, 1 sleeve. When we take current, it's going to put whatever it sees on the screen. And so I just like to do the base part, not the scattered part. So I'm going to clear it. When you clear it, It's nothing, right? So I'm gonna close the preview. I'm gonna go back to edit, arrange work area, unscatter, okay that. And now I'm going to go to file. I'm going to attach preview, and there it is. And let's make sure we say take current. Okay that. Okay, so wherever you set up a picture is the file that you need to go to set it on your pattern card. So we just simply, the same area, file, attach preview, and down here is a drop down with those three buttons where you can do additional things. Go to wherever you had your file. I think I put mine in documents, and then I have a lot of folders, so I'm going to go to my sketch pictures. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to find a picture that I want. So this is like a button front. Um, and then, you know, I make my pictures in Paint. I don't know Illustrator, but if you guys have nice fancy pictures, that's where you can put it. So here's a decent looking picture of a button front. So now that is, I'm going to okay it. Now it is attached to this pattern. It's now attached to this pattern. So I like to save it after I do things. I am now going to go to pattern card, and I have already written that I have buttons on here. I have fusing and sending out wash, but I think I said I have 5 buttons, but it looks like I have more than 5. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, that's 5. That's 5. So I have 5 buttons in my trim area, and I'm sending out fuse for my I can be more specific, and I can say send out fuse, and I can tell it the pieces for collar. And if I need more room, I just simply move this over, send out fusing for collar. If I want to be specific and separated, send out fuse on the what was that? The sleeve facing. And I have the front facing too, right? Sleeve facing, and enter, and then send out fusing on the front facing. So anything that we need to have instructions on our pattern card, we want to make sure that we write it down in this area. If you want to give a style description, you can go ahead and do that. So we're calling this the button front. What were we gonna name it? Button front with the let's say with the faced sleeve. Just something different. Just something that you can know identifying your styles. So you do want to include it with your image. That's one of the parts that's good to have on your pattern card. So we're going to Excel that. If we wanted to, we could append it to an existing tech pack. But right now, we're just simply going to launch Excel. We're going to say, okay. And we have to just wait for it to come up. When it's ready, it will. And there it is. And let's look. Let's open it up where we can see. And this is our style. And we have our description that came here. We have our size. And look, there's our picture. And here are our self pieces, our fuse pieces. Something is missing. What's missing on the collar, the facing? Oh, because it's contrast. No, I need to add fuse. I don't think I added fuse on the facing. So I'm going to have to do that. So let's go ahead and correct it. Let's go ahead and correct it. So when we close that, I'm going to close that. And so on my sleeve facing, that's where it is. I go behind contrast 1, I put a comma, and I say fuse. I need to add fuse. Okay, apply that, close it, save it, and go ahead and launch our Excel again. This time we should see, yes, it already exists. Yes, we want to replace it. And we wait for it to come up, and there it is. All right, and let's expand this so we can see it. And there it is. It got added. Okay. And then we have our contrast 1, our contrast 2, and our template. And then here is where our outside work information is. We have our special instruction here. And where is my trim? Ah, it's up here. They moved it and moved it up here. So there's our trim. Okay. So if you wanted to print this out, you just simply go to File and Print, and you set up your paper, set it to the printer. You set up the paper direction that you want. You can either have this portrait length or horizontal. I put my pattern cards on portrait and print, and then then you have your pattern card. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and we're going to close out because we're done. Okay, see you next time. All right, family. So I hope you go over what you've been learning and do some reading with the if you have the system already downloaded, you can go into the help area and in the index and read about any of the icons, any of the things that we've been going over, get more detail about the program, this TukaCad program. All right, see you next time.